Scene script. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly command every room they enter, while others shrink into the background? Picture this: two individuals, seemingly similar in all respects, yet their lives unfold in starkly different ways. Why, you ask? The answer lies in the realm of self-confidence. Self-confidence, or the lack thereof, is like the unseen hand that shapes our personal and professional lives. It's the silent puppeteer that pulls the strings of our interactions, dictating whether we step into the spotlight or retreat into the shadows. Some people appear to be born with this empowering trait, exuding a magnetic aura that draws others towards them. They glide through life with a certain ease, their self-assuredness paving the way for success. Others, however, seem to grapple with this elusive quality, battling insecurities and self-doubt. But the truth is, self-confidence isn't a magical trait bestowed upon a lucky few. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed. Consider the story of a timid young man named Alex. Alex wasn't always the most outgoing of individuals. From a young age, he grappled with a lack of self-confidence that often held him back. He was like a quiet songbird with a beautiful voice, but too afraid to sing. In social situations, Alex was the wallflower, the one who kept to himself, preferring the company of a good book to that of people. He was the observer, the listener, but never the speaker. His fear of judgment was like a chain around his neck, pulling him back each time he wished to step forward. His thoughts were filled with self-doubt, always questioning his worth, always comparing himself to others. Public speaking was a nightmare for Alex. The mere thought of standing in front of a crowd, all eyes on him, was enough to make his heart race. He would stumble over his words, his voice would shake, and his palms would sweat. It was as if he was on a stage, spotlight focused, each mistake magnified. His fear of public speaking was not uncommon. It's a fear that plagues many. It was a mountain he felt he could never climb, a hurdle he could never cross. Alex was not alone in this struggle. His story is a mirror reflecting the lives of countless individuals around the world. He was a representation of every person who has ever felt inadequate, every person who has ever doubted their abilities, every person who has ever feared judgment. He was a young man with so much potential, so much to offer, but his lack of confidence kept him from realizing his true potential. His dreams were vast like the ocean, but his confidence was a mere droplet. He longed to be confident, to be able to express himself without fear, to be able to stand tall and proud in front of a crowd. Alex, like many of us, longed for the ability to exude confidence, but he didn't know where to start. Alex began to understand that building self-confidence wasn't an overnight task. It was a journey, a process that required time, patience, and most importantly, commitment. He realized that his confidence was like a muscle, one that needed to be exercised regularly to grow stronger. One of the first steps Alex took was to practice positive self-talk. He understood that the way he spoke to himself had a profound impact on how he perceived himself. Therefore, he consciously began to replace his negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Instead of saying, "I can't do it," he would tell himself, "I can and I will." This small change made a significant difference in his mindset, helping him to cultivate a more positive self-image. Next, Alex started setting and accomplishing small goals. He realized that he didn't have to conquer the world all at once. Instead, he could take small steps, celebrating each accomplishment along the way. With every goal he achieved, no matter how small, his confidence grew. He saw firsthand that he was capable of achieving what he set out to do. In his journey to build self-confidence, Alex also learned to embrace failure as a learning opportunity. He realized that everyone stumbles and falls. What's important is not the fall, but the willingness to get back up and try again. Every time he failed, he saw it as a chance to learn and grow. He understood that failure was not a reflection of his worth, but rather a stepping stone to success. Finally, Alex gradually pushed his comfort zone. He started doing things he'd never done before, things that scared him. He understood that growth happens outside the comfort zone. Each time he pushed his boundaries, he discovered a new facet of himself, a new strength. Slowly but surely, Alex began to see changes. He was growing, evolving, becoming the person he'd always wanted to be. Each step he took, each challenge he overcame, added another block to his tower of self-confidence. and with each block, he felt more empowered, more capable, and more self-assured. The journey was challenging, yes, but oh, so worth it. Over time, Alex's efforts began to bear fruit. His transformation was akin to a caterpillar morphing into a butterfly, a metamorphosis brought about by a newfound self-confidence. No longer was he the timid individual who would shrink into the background, afraid of his own shadow. He was now a beacon of self-assuredness, emanating an aura of positivity and courage. His social interactions became more organic and less fraught with anxiety. Conversations flowed freely, punctuated by his infectious laughter, a clear sign of his elevated self-esteem. Public speaking, once a formidable adversary, was now an arena where he thrived. His words, powerful and persuasive, commanded the attention of his listeners, mirroring his increased confidence. His demeanor had changed remarkably. A once somber countenance was replaced with a radiant smile, a visual testament to his happiness. Life was no longer a battleground of self-doubt and fear, but a playground of possibilities. Alex had successfully navigated the journey of building self-confidence, and the results were transformative. Alex's story isn't unique. His journey can be your journey. As we've seen, the path to self-confidence isn't paved with instant gratification. It's a gradual ascent, a steady uphill climb, filled with triumphs and trials, victories and setbacks. You see, it's about taking that first step. It's about choosing to embark on a journey that leads to a better you. A journey where you are not defined by your past mistakes or fears, but by your determination to rise above them. It's about fostering patience, nurturing persistence, and embracing the understanding that self-confidence isn't built overnight. It's a process, a daily commitment to yourself. It's about celebrating every small victory, every step you take towards building that fortress of self-belief within. It's about understanding that every step you take is a step away from self-doubt and a step closer to becoming the person you aspire to be. So, why wait any longer? Start your journey towards building self-confidence today. Remember, every step you take is a step away from doubt and a step closer to the person you aspire to be.